we supposed to be having a fiesta?
Woo! What's going on, my international amigos of Spurs Nation? A rowdy UTSA Go Spurs Go to everybody that's watching. If you're watching live, thank you for stopping by. Please make sure you smash that like button down below and you hit the subscribe button as well. And hit that bell so you get notified when we go live on this channel. Wherever you are in the world, hope you're having a great day. Have a great show coming up for you. Got Rudy Campos Jr. from @SweepTheLeague on Twitter and the Sports Dime on 9:30 a.m. hanging out with us today. But before we get started, I'm going to let you guys know that we have these summer goals that we're chipping away at day by day. From now till August 7th, we're trying to reach 2,000 YouTube subscribers. We're getting close right there to 1,500. You guys are making it happen. Appreciate you guys. And then also we're trying to get to 200 Patreon members, and very excited that snowball has started to roll. We're starting to get some Patreon love over there. So please check out all the perks. If you want to get all the perks to Spurs Film Room, go check out our Patreon memberships over there, as well as if you are one of the first 100 members to sign up for the Patreon, you're going to get a random Spurs gift in the mail. A little Spurs love from Spurs Film Room. Just letting you guys know that, that's my way of showing appreciation for you for supporting this channel, as well as if you sign up for the Patreon membership before August 7th, our goal date, you guys are going to be automatically entered. I'm very excited. Big deal, guys. Very excited to let you guys know. I think we'll let this out on Monday. You guys are going to get entered automatically to get an original painting by Valley Artist 66. Look him up on Instagram and then check out his website from there. But it's an exclusive giveaway just for our Patreon members. This is just one of his artworks here in the background here of that Jordan painting. But he has so much cool NBA style, just like awesome art. So I got him doing an original Spurs painting for my Patreon members. So go ahead and check that out when you click in the links in the description below. Also, if you want to shop some official Spurs gear, check out the links in the description to Fanatics and Rally House. They'll send you straight to their Spurs shop on their website. As well, if you're looking for tickets for a upcoming sporting event or a concert that's coming up in your local area, you can check out the link to ticketdistributors.com. Alrighty, guys. Now, all that being said, appreciate you hanging out. Please smash that like button down below. Say Go Spurs Go when you do. Now let's get on with the show. We got the Rudy Campos Jr. in the house. What's going on, Rudy?
What's going on, Rob? Man, that intro is awesome. I definitely need to contract you to get me one of those.
For sure, man. I got you. Just let me know. Bro, man, we're talking, those of y'all that don't know in Spurs Nation, Rudy is like an all-day guy. If you want Spurs content, there's going to be somewhere you're going to find Rudy Campos Jr. and some Spurs content that you listen to. If you just go out and search, can I listen to a Spurs show today or podcast today? Rudy's going to be one of the guests on those shows. We're just talking off screen. Earlier today, you were on the Two Shots podcast with Joe Garcia. And then just a few, about 30 minutes ago, you were hanging out with the boys over there on Sweep the League. And that was interesting, man. Hey, man, that recruiting thing, I like it. I like the idea. Hey, so those of y'all that you don't know, you need to go to Sweep the League on Twitter and then listen to the last episode. You'll know about this recruiting. If you think you'd be a good recruiter for Rudy Campos Jr., let him know.
We talked about.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Go check out the show from earlier this evening, and then you're doing my show, man. Thank you for coming on. And then you were like, we were just talking about, you're gonna do some more stuff later on this night. You're not done yet.
No, this is the halftime show for me right here. Basically, I've got two more shows. One of them is going to be an NBA lottery show that I'm going to jump on, and then midnight my time, I got to go on the West Coast and do an NFL show. So I'm not quite done yet.
Oh man, dude, that's nuts, man. And I'm over here like 3 shows a week is enough for me, man. Jeez, you're doing 6 in a day. Wow. That's some KJ motor right there for you, man. Some Keldon Johnson motor.
It's coffee. It's all coffee.
Shout out to Frenchie Betts. What's going on? Appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us today. All right, Rudy. So, those of y'all that don't know Spurs Nation, I'm gonna let you know right now. Rudy is on quite a personal like run right now. Like, dude, and I've been following you for a few years, so I understand like the effort and everything that you've put in to putting in the work to drop in. I mean, dude, a ton of LBs, man. And dude, congrats for that. Congrats for that's a huge change. Let me tell you, man, I have a brother, one of my younger brothers, he was pushing around 345. He was pushing around 345 around, I want to say like 6 months ago. And now he's under 300. So he's lost maybe 50 pounds, my younger brother. So I can appreciate, man, exactly, what you're doing. I want you to let Spurs Nation in a little bit on what you got going on and kind of how you're going about all this.
Well, I'm going to share with your audience here because I want to give them an idea. This was exactly maybe 3 years ago, roughly. So that was about 3 years ago, probably at my highest weight, which was a little over 350, maybe 360. I think I was pushing 375 right there at one point. So basically what I did was I caught COVID in November is what it was. So COVID gave me a 15-pound start. Went to the doctor in February. Doctor said, everything that's wrong with you, diabetes, cholesterol, everything like that can be taken care of if you lost weight. I said, okay. So I said, let me take this journey. I have a daughter. I have a wife. So I'm thinking, I may need to get healthier just like that. And since then, man, I'm glad to say that probably in the next 7 pounds that I lose, I'll be down to 250, which is about 100-pound weight loss from probably the average weight I was at 350. It's been since February that all this happened, and the key is just eating and walking. I don't lift weights. I don't hit the gym. I just walk a mile a day, man. That's it.
Yeah, let me tell you what, man. That is the secret, and there really is no science to it, and you don't need to subscribe to no fitness plan and crazy diet. It's really just about a balanced diet and just a little bit of exercise, and that's how you get it going. But I always say, wait, look, background to everybody here. I'm a kinesiology major from UTSA. Like health and wellness and fitness is like my grind. That's my passion. I'm a coach and all that stuff. So I preach it all the time, not just to my students, but to my players and all. Obviously the players, they got it already, but definitely to my students. And it's like a two-parter. It's but one half of the whole equation is motivation. And you were talking about it right now. You got your motivation and you got all that figured out and in line. And that's half of the battle. That's what I always say. It's like, if, my brother, his motivation, I think, was a girl that he's talking to, right? He started talking to a girl. A girl can always do that to a man. Get you motivated to change your life. Yeah, a good woman can do that to you. And so he got motivated that way, and he started going to the gym, and he's down, I think, about 40, 50 pounds now. And your family and all those things that you got in the front of your brain that are telling you to, hey, keep going, keep pushing it day in, day out. And now it's just, I'm sure, like a lifestyle for you.
It really is, man. I mean, you're talking, and I'll put it into perspective here. Let me go through a meal, and this is a typical meal, a typical day for me back in the day. In the morning, I'd head to work. I'd stop at Mama Margin's. And I'm not afraid to tell people this story because it makes them realize something. Yeah. I would stop at Mama Margin's, grab a large sweet tea or a large lemonade. I would get 2 beef fajita tacos, a chicken fajita taco, and 3 bean and cheese tacos. That's my breakfast, bro. At lunchtime, I would hit up a McDonald's or a Wendy's or whatever. Just take McDonald's, for example. I'm talking double quarter pounder, value size or whatever, super size. And you know what? Go ahead and throw in a 20-piece nugget on that. And that's lunch. Come dinner time, I'm talking, if my wife made spaghetti, it was 2 massive plates of spaghetti. We're talking 10, 12,000 calories in a day at that. I mean, maybe more. You can't even burn 1,300 calories in a day most times. Yeah. So if you cut out and I saw one of the comments, thank you very much, off of French, I believe it was, but just cutting the meals down. I'm eating more broccoli, chicken, pork,
Yeah.
Cauliflower has been a blessing. Blueberries, just staying away from everything, like just drink water, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That entire whole change has helped me tremendously. I'll be the first one to admit I give up all the time. I would try this diet thing back then, and I'm like, all right, after 5 minutes, I'm done. I need my burger fix. I need this.
Yeah.
This time is a lot different, man. There's a lot more to play with. I'm trying to stay healthy to get more years on my life, so I can join shows like yours and everybody else's and talk sports and stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, man. Well, we appreciate you like just letting us in a little bit on your journey there, man, and congrats on all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. All right, so let's move forward here a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the Sports Dime and just bro, I listened to it. I mean, more than half of the month. I at least catch it 2-3 times a month. Y'all show. The last 2 episodes, man, are great, guys. In the link in the description below, you're gonna find the link to Rudy's radio show in San Antonio with co-host Carolina Teague, the Sports Dime. The link is in the description below. Go check it out. It's gonna send you over there. Also, the link to his Twitter is there, and that's where you can catch Sweep the League. So follow Rudy there. But dude, the show is awesome, man. You guys just get like, I want to think back to like 4 or 5 weeks ago and like 2 or 3 months ago. You guys just get better as time goes on. That's my biggest, like, prop to you guys, is that you guys continue to get better. And then that's just the way it's going to go. And the last 2 episodes, man, are awesome, dude. And you guys got Bill Land and Sean Elliot on there, which we're going to talk about in a little while. But first, just tell me how things going over there at the show.
It's going great, man. We're about to hit a year mark in August, so we would have been on the air for a year. A little insight. I mean, Carolina and I, we kind of did a little podcast work a while back, but going into the show, going into radio, we didn't know if it was going to work. And that's kind of like the good thing about it, is that you've got 2 personalities that you've worked together, but you don't know if it's going to work. And it kind of just meshed. It fell into place. We started off a little slow, I believe, if I go back and listen. And it's like you said, it's getting better and better. I can tell you right now, without her, there's definitely no guess that we would have. Like, I'm like, wow, interviewing, lately Bill Land and Sean Elliot. She was able to get Joy Taylor, Summer Sanders for us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
we were able to talk to Keldon Johnson in studio.
Summer Sanders. Oh my God, bro. That was like that was a childhood crush of mine for sure. That was pretty neat. Yeah.
I made sure to tell that for all of us, that she was a crush for all of us too. But to interview a big media personality like Joy Taylor, to interview a multi-Olympic gold medalist, to a current Spurs rookie at the time, who's coming around, and then to go to like Sean Elliott and Bill Land and all the boxing champions that we've already interviewed. We just have fun, and that's the key, brother. Is you got to have fun, whether it's podcasts or radio. If you make it fun, the listeners will listen to you all the time.
Yeah. So let's talk about those 2 interviews for a second, man, because those were a lot of fun. Guys, go check out the link in the description below, and then look at their past 2 episodes. They're long, they're long episodes. So like you're gonna listen to the show. You're gonna hear all the different parts about it. You're gonna enjoy all the different takes on it, and then you'll find the interviews on there. Bill Land, bro, like that was cool. Let me tell you something, Rudy. Like in this household, Bill Land is like, he's one of those. He's on the Rushmore, man. Like he's a big deal in this house. Like we love him, and you gave him a shout out like at the end of the interview, and you thanked him on the behalf of like all of San Antonio Spurs Nation, because they make it feel like family. I remember that. I think that's what you said. And it was just like, bro, that's on the nose, man. Because like, bro, like my wife, she's not a huge sports person or whatever. She loves Bill Land. We call him Bill Land, right? Just because he has all these L's, BILLLA, right? So, but that was a lot of fun, man. Tell me about being able to talk to him, dude. That was awesome.
Growing up as a Spurs fan, you're talking guys like Jay Howard back in the day, who I would listen to on the radio. You went through guys like Joel Myers, used to be one of the announcers for the Spurs on TV. Talking to Bill Land, it was awesome. It was amazing. This guy to get his story on how he started in broadcasting, how he would just go to his local college, and how he said, I played ball, but I wasn't going to make it. So let me try the broadcasting thing. I'll give your guy, for those of you that haven't heard the episode, I'm not going to be the one to say, go listen to it. I have faith that y'all will listen to that episode. But one thing that happened was he has that old mama sing. Yeah. I'll let your listeners know that. Yeah. To know where that came from is pretty spectacular because it involved his mom. Yeah. And just a quick backstory was his mom would never have been able to make it to the games to hear him call the games. Yeah. So he said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shout out, oh, mama, for you every game. And it just translated all the way to the Spurs broadcast. So the Bill interview is actually one of my favorites so far because it's a guy that you don't normally get to interview all the time. Yeah. But the story behind it is so amazing. And you're right. Yeah. He's family, man. Every time you turn on the TV, you watch Spurs game, it's like, oh, it's Uncle Bill. He's there with Sean. It's just family related. Yeah.
So those of y'all that don't know, we're talking about Bill Land, the play-by-play caller with Sean Elliot from formerly Fox Sports Southwest, now Bally Sports. But let me tell you something, dude. This year, more than ever, I had to find different avenues to watch the game, if you know what I mean. Like sometimes I had to listen to the away broadcast, right? This year more than most. So I heard, like Washington, I heard Charlotte, I heard I think when we played Boston one time, I heard the away people. And bro, it's not even close. It's not even close how good those two are. Bill Land and Sean Elliott at doing what they do compared to other guys in the league. And I've always thought, yeah, they're great. I love them. But bro, I take them for granted. When I heard the other teams broadcasters, Houston's, bro, oh my God. Like I think that guy just retired. I don't know what. And I'm not here to talk mess about him or whatever, but whenever we played against them and you heard Houston talk about us, it was just like, what? Do they even know anything about anything that's going on right now? You know what I mean? So it was just, bro, those two together are amazing. So I'm super jealous, man. You got to hook up with with Bill, dude. Yeah, but those of y'all that you don't know, but there's more to it, man. Bill Land goes into that whoa mama thing and the holy coyote, right? He talks about that one too. Yes. Right. Talked about that phrase too. That was awesome. So go check out that interview. Bro, but I was blown away by the Sean Elliott one, to be honest. Yeah. Hey, like, first off, congrats to you and Carolina. Because that was an awesome interview. Like, when you're hearing it back, Sean was like super energetic, like super like bashful and like honest and like and sincere in his like, he was laughing and chugging, and he got into some history about him. You asked some awesome questions, bro, about his college coach. And was it his college coach or his high school coach?
College, Ludo.
Oh, yes, his college coach. And then you asked him about his rookie year and all that stuff. That was awesome, dude, because I know Sean Elliott, but like Sean Elliott, I caught the end of Sean Elliott. I caught like, when I was like 10 years old or whatever, he was winning his ring with San Antonio. You know what I mean? So I'd missed a lot of that Arizona stuff. But tell me a little bit about that interview, man. I mean, that's just like the tip. That was just like the tip of the interview. If you guys are out there and you're a Spurs fan right now, and you grew up watching a lot of these guys, Avery Johnson and that era, dude, go listen to that interview. That interview was awesome, dude. Tell me a little bit about how that went down.
Yeah, man. The Sean Elliott interview for me, out of everything that we've done, is probably the most humbling one I can say. I'm going to let you on a little bit of backstory. Carolina was extremely nervous about it because she's like, oh my God, it's Sean Elliott. Oh my God, Sean Elliott. I'm like,
she did good. She did good.
And I tell her, the more times you get nervous when we're done, you're like, oh, it went fine. I said, don't worry about it. It's just Sean Elliott. The thing that we try to do is we try to humanize the players because you know about their accomplishments. You know they're great if they play in the NBA. But what we don't know is the humanized part about it. Yeah. And that's what we try to get into. So talking about Coach Olsen, I mean, God rest his soul, one of the best coaches in NCAA history. Sean talks about it, the way that Coach Olsen was like a dad to him, how he brought him up and how the transition to Coach Pop, eventually makes Sean a better player. And that's what basically I was getting to was do these coaches actually make you guys better? And which it does.
Yeah.
All the way that to getting the info about Sean getting a bachelor's degree. He's getting ready to finish that up.
Yes.
To his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remembers that rookie year of his because that was the year that they should have beaten Portland in the Western Conference Finals. Everybody points back to Rod Strickland and the behind-the-back pass. And he basically said that pass didn't have anything to do with it. You know, it just really wasn't our time. And that's so true. So the Sean Elliott interview is, to me, it was humbling. And I'm glad we got to do it.
Yeah.
It was fun the entire time. My biggest question, I'm glad I was able to get it in, was his return to the Spurs after the kidney surgery that he had. Yeah. And
you know what, Rudy? And you know what, Rudy? Real quick, like, I'm glad you brought it up where you brought it up too, at the very end of the interview, because I know you guys were kind of like pressed for time. I think you guys were like, oh, we only have a few minutes. We only have a moment. We only have seconds, right? It kept getting lower, right? Like, we only have a few moments. We only have a few minutes. We only have a few seconds, right? You're like, but I want to squeeze it in. And I think he really appreciated it. You could tell when he responded to your question. I'm sorry to interrupt. You can continue, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and what I liked about it was he kind of was surprised when I said, you know, you came back into the game. It was like late to Atlanta. And the only thing that I remember is that drive to the basket and that slam dunk, you know, to get your first points. Yeah. And it just felt like you were back. And, you know, my thing was how did you feel? Because to me, I knew for a fact he was going to say it's nerve-wracking. And that's what he said. Yeah. He was nervous. He was so nervous. But when you talk about moments in sports, you've got the Memorial Day miracle from Sean Elliott. Spurs winning their title, their first title, which, like I asked him, if there's not for that shot, did the Spurs win the title? I mean, we really don't know. That shot could have definitely put the Spurs on the map right there. But it's that moment of Sean coming back. Nobody's ever came back from the surgery like that. Yeah, that's a brother-to-brother moment for those of us that have brothers and siblings. Yeah, it's a special moment, and for him to share it with his brother is amazing. For him to come back is even more amazing. The guy means so much to the city of San Antonio. It's not even funny.
You know, when you brought up the Memorial Day shot, let me tell you what, you brought it up, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. You guys are gonna talk about it, and I was just expecting to hear like, you know, like the same thing I've always heard when someone asks him about it. But bro, he gave me like a whole different painting of like of one, like how it is for him, like, you know, like being in San Antonio and how the appreciation and the love and all that to this day and all this stuff. And but then he started talking about that he still likes looking at it because he likes looking at the fans and behind him and stuff like that. So that was cool, dude. He just seems to be like this awesome guy, and it came through in that interview, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's a very awesome guy. Both guys were awesome. I'm very blessed to have been able to talk to both guys and interview them. But Sean Elliott, man, I kind of expected him to give us the one or two answers, the word answers, and kind of make it quick because they were pushing like, you've only got 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay, we'll do 20 minutes. But we got him for longer than 20 minutes. But it's the comfort thing. I love that he was so comfortable with us.
It was cool.
It just made that whole interview easier.
Yes, man. It was real laid back. I think you did a great job, dude. Carolina did a great job. So again, those of y'all that are watching right now, live or post live, the link is in the description below, and it sends you to their website right now, Rudy. But you guys are on podcast feeds as well.
Yes, we are. We basically every major podcast platform, which is you can find us on iHeart, Spotify, Apple, you know, all the podcast platforms. You can just search the Sports Time. We'll come right up. You'll see my old big body on there with Carolina. don't be confused.
You got to change it, man. You got to upgrade it.
Yeah, we need to upgrade it.
Or it's motivation, man. It's like, I see that every day, and it just makes me want to go out for a run, right? And just All right, guys. So when we come back, Rudy and I are going to talk a little bit about this past season and kind of maybe where our thoughts are for this season. We're going to talk Spurs when we get right back.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
All right, guys, just to let you guys know, remind you, you can go and become a Patreon member. The link should be there in the description below. If it's not, I'll make sure it's there in a second. And when you do, you get automatically entered to win an original Spurs painting by Valley Artist 66. Look them up on Instagram. I'm going to have him do some original work. As soon as I get that done from him, I'm going to let you guys know and be posting videos about it and whatnot. So go check out the link in the description below to the Patreon. You get all the perks. You get behind the scenes access. You get voting power. You get merch discounts, right? You get all types of stuff when you become a member. And the first 100 members are going to receive a free Spurs thank you gift from me to you. So go ahead and check out the link in the description below. All right, now back to the show with Rudy Campos.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
All righty. So, bro, I'm asking everybody I talk to now on the show pretty much two questions. Were there any positives from last season that you think like, hey, I know it was rough, but these were some good things we're taking into next season? And the second question I'm asking are like, what excites you about next season? So let's talk the first one for a second. The grind that it was. We haven't been playing now for what, almost a month now. All right. And there's still basketball going on. Can you look back on the season and pull out some pros?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You know, if at the beginning of the season, I pretty much pegged the Spurs as a 7th, 8th seed in the West. You know, if they made the playoffs, it'd be 7th, 8th seed, maybe the play-in game. Mm-hmm. So really no surprise of where they finished. But, you know, the pros that you've got out of it that I've been seeing all season, obviously number one is Keldon Johnson. I mean, you saw him emerge a little bit more, come out of his shell a little bit better. Is he going to be the man for the Spurs? In some instances, it shows that he can be, but he's not quite there yet. Mm-hmm. So the emergence of the young guys like Keldon Johnson, we saw DeJounte take a little more step forward in his progression. The other guys you saw, you know, like a Derek White, when he wasn't injured, Derek White, again, still showed that he still has game. He can still be there. So the pros of seeing the youth movement mature is what I really enjoyed. We didn't see everything out of Lonnie Walker. I mean, he did have a couple of games where there was some good spurts there, but I still think he's got to improve. So pro-wise, definitely the emergence of Lonnie, not Walker, but the youth guys, the youth of the Spurs. Yeah. One other thing is we saw in instances Becky Hammond take control over the team on some timeouts and stuff. So does that mean that she's going to be the next coach for the Spurs? Obviously right now she's interviewing for Portland and for Orlando, maybe some other jobs, like 2 of them that just came available today.
Yeah.
We're hoping that she does stay with the Spurs, but just seeing her getting the opportunity from Pop to take over the reins every now and then was very promising for me. So those 2 pros. If I had to take one more, I want to say it's kind of weird because you people might get mad at me at this, but one of the pros that I'm seeing is the lottery pick. I mean, yes, you were bad, but we're getting that lottery pick. So that's definitely a pro in a very, very deep draft class. Yeah. This is the year you want to have that lottery pick. So I definitely see 3 pros in this altogether.
All right, so one real quick, the Becky Hammond one. I put out a video. Those of y'all that are watching, go check out this thumbnail right now in my YouTube channel, or you can check out the full episode here. It looks like this. These are the thumbnails for the videos on my channel where I kind of go into it, and I'm going to give my take a little bit on that. I'm going to drop a little nugget from those videos right now. I actually feel like Orlando is a great fit. I actually feel like Orlando is a great fit for Becky, and Boston's great. It's Boston. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's gonna be high expectation for you to win right away and all this and that. But I think Becky, you know, she knows the organization now from the ground up. And I think her having an opportunity to build a team from the ground up for her, I think around her and kind of like, you know, I think that's great for her. The last one that you said, what was that? Remind me again. The lottery pick. Okay, yeah. So, bro, we got Devin Vassell. No, yeah, that's right. I got my pen. I was like, man, I'm gonna forget it, man. Let me get a paper real quick and write it down. No, the lottery pick. Yeah, that's gonna be huge for us. Look, we don't draft bad. Let's just call it like what it is. At least at that levels, we haven't missed on a draft pick. Yeah. And Luka's not a miss either. Luka's just, you know, Luka's a little bird. He still needs to grow up, and so you can flap his wings and just tear some shit up, right? That's Luka. But no, we've hit almost every single time. I love Quindary Weatherspoon. I know he's not with us anymore, but we got Devin Vassell at 11. We're gonna get something, hopefully an impact level player like him that can come in right away and contribute this year. And so that's back-to-back years that we're gonna get Devin Vassell and at 11. Now we're gonna get at 12. If the lottery keeps us at 12, right? Still to be seen, but most likely. The emergence of the young guys. I agree, man. There was a lot of learning. Listen, learning has to take place. It has to. And for these young guys, and I'm telling my wife this all the time, is like, because we're watching the playoffs, and I'm like, babe, these players are like 38, 30, 33, like the good players, the ones that are standing out and doing work right now. They're all like, babe, those are older. You gotta understand. KJ's like 20, 21 or whatever. I was like, like DJ and all those guys are like 24, 25. We're so young. It takes a little bit of time. And it's good that it happened this year, and these guys are taking their bumps and their knocks. I agree with you on Lonnie Walker, man. I'm not gonna fight you at all on that. I've been very vocal on this channel, and I love Lonnie. I think he's a killer, man. But it's just like you see a little bit of this, a little bit of that every like 6-7 games, and then every 10 games he has like a 30-point game or whatever. It kind of shows you that, oh, I can do a lot. But it wasn't consistent enough to help us win this year. And defensively, he needs some work too.
He does. And, Lonnie's still a project. And, one thing that I think Spurs Nation, Spurs fandom has to realize is, let me use this team as an example. The Phoenix Suns, a young team. Look at a guy like Devin Booker. I mean, he hasn't had success for the first, 7 years of his career up until now. I mean, 6 years or so. So it takes time. Devin Booker is one of the game's best players right now. He can score. He was always a great player playing with Phoenix. He just never had the team. They drafted well. You're talking, and then they also signed guys like a Cameron Payne this year who's doing really well for them.
Yeah.
You go and get a Chris Paul. It takes one veteran to make your team that much better. So with the youth that the Spurs have, look at it like Phoenix. They had to start somewhere, and they had to grow. It's not going to happen in 2 years. It's not going to happen in 3 years. It's going to take a little bit of time. At number 12 this year, I mean, we don't know. Next week we'll find out. Maybe the Spurs get the number 1 pick, and we're all celebrating Cade Cunningham or something. But,
man, I hope something cool happens, like something unexpected, man. Catch us all off guard.
Knowing us, right, we get the number 1 pick, and then the very next day we're trading it for veterans or something. So, I mean, that would be Spurs move 101 right there. But, hey, if we stay at 12, you're right. Devin Vassell last year, Keldon Johnson the year before, Lucas Lamonica, who's actually playing overseas right now for his national team. All that's doing is getting him better prepared for the next season. You've got 12. Why not a player like a Zaire Williams out of Stanford? You're talking a 6'7" guy with a 6'11" wingspan.
Yeah.
Who was like that the last time the Spurs drafted this guy? That's a Kawhi Leonard type guy right there.
Yeah.
He's raw and he's a defensive presence. So this draft is so good. It's so deep. I'm with everybody. There's so many players out there. It depends where we land on the lottery. But you're right, man. The youth is coming along cool. I just hope Lonnie gets another step forward.
He has to, because the young talent is right behind him for minutes, like Devin. Like Devin, bro. Like Devin Vassell came in year 1 and totally jumped Lonnie. Like he jumped Lonnie, like by 2 years, jumped Lonnie. He said, I'm ready now. Lonnie, you're still maybe almost ready. And so I think that should just make competition better, which makes your team better. People fighting for minutes and fighting for spots isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying like Lonnie better watch out or he's not going to get any minutes because these guys are really good behind him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that these guys are going to push each other, compete every day. And we draft the character, right? We don't draft talent. We draft character. And these character guys that we have in the locker room are going to do nothing but get better and push each other so they can get what they want. And I think that's to get in the playoffs. So yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Listen, the other night I was having a conversation with my wife, and I go, look, a phoenix, like the bird, like the phoenix, like the bird, right? That's San Antonio Spurs. That's the San Antonio Spurs. We were this glorious, epic bird, flying phoenix, doing all this crazy stuff with Tim Duncan. The big three were here. And then when they all retired, we just burned to ashes. But what are we now? We're like a little bird. We're a little bird, you know, like it made anew. We're small again, right? But it's still a phoenix. It's still a freaking phoenix bird. You're like, holy crap, when this thing gets older and grows up, it's gonna be a majestical thing, a very awesome thing to behold. And that's how I feel about our young guys. I might just be biased. I don't know, maybe.
No,
but that's how I feel.
It's the best way I can describe it, and it kind of just came to me right now. It's like watching your child grow up. I mean, they're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna have issues. You're watching them grow up from a baby. They're young. They're innocent. You've got to guide them, and that's the same thing with the Spurs. You have a very young team. In fact, wasn't it one of the youngest teams in the league this year?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a very young team. Everybody goes through a rebuild. And you've got to, if you pull back the curtain, this wasn't a bad season for the Spurs.
No.
I mean, you're talking a rebuild and you're still in the playoff hunt. I mean, you're just going to get better from here on out.
All things considered, it was a good season. Like, look, I mean, man, there were like 3-4 games there in the middle where we were like playing so impressive, like against Charlotte, Atlanta. We were like, Derek White was there, right? He had just started getting it going. Derek White did, and then he's out the rest of the whole final stretch run, and it just wasn't ideal with it just wasn't the lack of practice, the scheduling, whatever. But when you take all that out of the picture and you see how we played, our guys competed every night, and they were tough, and we went to a lot of overtime games, double overtime games, because honestly, the other team was better than us. But we fought like hell to stay in the game, and we stayed in, that's why we went to a lot of overtime games. All right, Rudy, real quick before I let you go, tell me about fantasy football really quick. I know you got to record a football NFL show later tonight. You can plug that too if you want, man. Plug that NFL show. I'm sure all my listeners that are going to see this are going to want to follow you everywhere that they can. But last year when I talked to you, because last time we spoke, it was after the Keldon Johnson interview that you guys did as well. Those of y'all that don't know, Rudy and Carolina on their show, also on the Sports Dime, also interviewed KJ a year ago. And you told me you were like in 12 leagues, fantasy football leagues?
This past season, I was in 20 fantasy football leagues.
20 leagues.
Yeah.
How is that this year? How's that going this year?
I have actually minimized that to, as of right now, I am in 9. With probably 3 pending. So yeah.
Okay. All right, man. So which like player right now most excites you in the fantasy world? Not real football, but in the fantasy world.
Yeah, because you got to keep them separate.
You got to keep them separate.
Definitely have to keep them separate. Obviously, the number 1 pick this year for fantasy-wise talking is going to be Christian McCaffrey from the Carolina Panthers. I mean, you got to do it all back. You got a running back that can obviously run from the backfield. He can catch all these passes. He's going to be the main option in Carolina. Yeah. You have a very well-rested, coming off injury, Saquon Barkley as well, coming back for the New York Giants. Another guy that's going to be groomed to just take over that Giants backfield. He's going to continue where he left off. Dalvin Cook for Minnesota was very, very strong. You can't forget now, I'm kind of leaning more towards Derrick Henry because of the Julio Jones. My Atlanta Falcons decided to give up Julio Jones, which I have no problem with.
Yes.
Julio deserves to be on another team, so signing him is going to open up all these lanes for Derrick. Okay. Those 4 guys are what you're really looking at. Rookie-wise, I can give some advice. There's really not very many QB rookies you want to go after right away as far as an actual fantasy draft. Trevor Lawrence is going to get the start right away. Zach Wilson will probably get the start right away. But as far as, running backs go, pretty much every running back on the rosters, Michael Carter's going to be a sleeper for me with the Jets. He's going to be one running back to look out for that's a rookie. But the receivers galore, brother. So, yeah, for fantasy-wise, it's where you fall in the draft is what I've always told people. If you're in the first few picks, get a running back. Middle of the tier, depending on how your scoring is, if you get 6 points for a touchdown pass, Patrick Mahomes is your man. So you got to look at the scoring when it comes to fantasy. That's so important.
So are you still drafting Aaron Rodgers like in the first in the first like 5 rounds, or are you gonna wait and see?
as of right now, if you ask me now what you did, Aaron Rodgers goes undrafted from just on my team because I have no idea if he's going to play or not. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
He could get traded to New Orleans tomorrow, and I'm on the Rodgers hype train. That's probably the 3rd round pick for me.
Yeah.
So really, Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are the 2 quarterbacks you're going to go with right away in the first couple of rounds. But Aaron Rodgers, probably 4th, 5th rounder easily.
All right. So, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we're gonna finish and wrap this thing up.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
All right, guys, just to let you know that this Friday we got a new show coming for you guys. It's a first episode show, Till Spurs Do Us Part, between my lovely wife, Alma Trejo, and myself. We're going to just talk basketball maybe a few times a month. So very excited to debut this show with you guys. Again, maybe bi-monthly show on this channel or on the podcast. So check that out. All right. Also, make sure that you check out our Patreon link in the description below. When you do that, you got 3 levels. You get different perks at every level. You get automatic entry to giveaways. There's a lot of stuff going on our Patreon. So please go ahead and check that stuff out. Again, first 100 members to our Patreon are going to receive a random Spurs gift in the mail. Go ahead and check that out. All right, back to Rudy Campos Jr.
Hey, isn't we supposed to be having a fiesta?
All right, Rudy. Hopefully I didn't take up too much time, man. Went a little bit longer than I hoped, but man, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you. Good talking to you, man. Congratulations again, dude, on just like your whole weight loss journey that you got going on. Again, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about right now because you just joined live, scroll back to the beginning of the episode and we can go on wax about that. So, dude, tell all my listeners right now where they can find you.
Yeah, definitely you could find me on social media. On Twitter, it's @SweepTheLeague, which is also the name of the podcast that we run. You can find me on Facebook. Facebook, just search my name, Rudy Campos Jr. If I accept you, you're one of the lucky ones. So normally I usually accept a lot of people anyway. Same thing at Instagram. I think it's @Campos Rudy Jr. or something. But yeah, man, I'm actually interested in the till something do us part with you and your wife.
Till Spurs do us part. Yeah.
I'm very curious about that because that's amazing that you're gonna be doing that with your wife. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be looking forward to that.
Appreciate it. Yeah, she's hilarious, man. She's not like Spurs born and bred. So it's very like biased versus unbiased opinions on that show. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So those of y'all who are gonna watch, be nice.
I'm trying to get one with my wife, but the stuff that we talk about, it's not necessarily sports related, and I'd have to do it after midnight because it's definitely not great stuff. But I get where you're coming from because getting a podcast with your wife it's definitely different, but it can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah. So we're gonna see how that goes. Maybe once a month, maybe if it goes good, bi-weekly, maybe we'll do an extra episode for my Patreon members only, so we'll see how that goes. But Rudy, man, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with me after your triathlon of a day, man. Doing Spurs content. We'll catch you on the next one, man. Again, take care. And those of y'all that are hanging out with us live right now, please, before you go, if you like this show, smash that like button down below. Chant Go Spurs Go when you do. Let us know in the comments where you're from. I like knowing where my listeners and viewers are watching me from. Global platform, international amigos of Spurs Nation. Go Spurs Go.